This one is one that was just requested from back there. It's called "The Queen of Iowa." It's a song that I wrote for a lady named Jody who lives in Cedar Rapids, and sorry. She lives in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and is dying of AIDS. And she got the disease from back when she was in college about 20 years ago. She was attacked by a guy, very brutally, and she got AIDS. And it was a huge tragedy, and was hospitalized and stuff. But her husband, she wasn't married at the time, but her husband now had been in love with her since high school, and married her knowing that she had AIDS, and has been her caregiver all these years. And so as she's developed all these brain tumors and different cancers and terrible suffering, as all this stuff has happened, he's never left her side. He stays home and he takes care of her 24 hours a day. I don't know when he sleeps. We get a pretty much a daily email from him that he sends out to the people who know Jody, and it's just this unbelievable, almost unbearable to read list of problems that poor Jody has. She has, seizures and apnea and fluid in her lungs, staph infections, MRSA infections, a constant fever of about 104, hallucinations and nightmares every night with the fever spike, and they're always about the night that she was attacked. Itching all over her body. She's paralyzed. I mean, I've never heard of anyone for that length of time suffering these kind of situations, symptoms. And so, anyway, they flew Ben and I to her house several years ago to do a bedside concert for her. And we didn't know her at all, but they filled us in on her story on the way to her house. And when we got there, she was laying on this couch in the middle of the room, and her husband was kind of hovering around the head of the couch and whispered to her that we had arrived, but she didn't move. And they told us that she had been non-responsive for about a week. But they were pretty sure that she could hear us because when they prayed with her, sometimes she cried. And so her husband pulled out this piece of paper and asked us to play through the songs on the list. And in the middle of the songs, she opened up her eyes for the first time in about a week. And the very first words out of her mouth were, she couldn't really speak, but she could mouth words and whisper. And the very first words out of her mouth were about how good God was to her. Words of praise. And it just didn't compute. It was so hard for me to understand, I stubbed my toe and I started to question the existence of God. And yet here's Jody suffering this awful injustice and pain, and she's full of praise and light. And it basically helped me to believe the words of my own songs. Watching her sing them helped me to believe the words of my own songs more than I did when I wrote them. And so anyway, that was 5 years ago. I think we did the math and figured out it was 5 years.
Something like that.
Since the first time we met her, and we've been to visit her 4 or 5 times since when we passed through Cedar Rapids. We actually just 2 weeks ago got to go, or was it last weekend? Last weekend? 2 weeks ago, we got to go visit John and Jody again, and her body continues to worsen, and yet we still weep with joy when we see her. And so, anyway, pray for them if you think about it. This is the Queen of Iowa. I met the Queen of Iowa. She was dying on a couch in the suburbs, and with all of the things she was dying of, she was more alive than the others. She was pretty as a flower in a crystal vase. It lights up the room as it withers away. She opened her eyes when she heard the music play. We sang a hymn to the rhythm of the river that flows down from the mountain of the Holy Ghost into the souls of those who know His name, like the Queen of Iowa. She was the Queen of Iowa. Well, Her Majesty was all ablaze. She was burning hot but not consumed. Our shoes removed in that holy place, in the hallowed ground of her living room. Well, I bowed down low and I kissed her hand, and we raised a toast to the promised land. I saw the tears of joy run down her face, sang a hymn to the rhythm of the river that flows down from the mountain of the Holy Ghost into the souls of those who know His name, like the Queen of Iowa. Goes the valley up and she's the Queen of Iowa. The Queen of Iowa. I could see my illusions scatter every time she drew a breath. I could see the heart of the matter. The heart is a matter of life and death. Well, I'll never be the same. Well, we sang about oceans of love again. She stared past the ceiling and the sky above. Two chord musicians, it was me and Ben. We were singing for the Queen of Iowa. We sang a hymn to the rhythm of the river that flows down from the mountain of the Holy Ghost into the souls of those who know His name. There was a peace like a river in a valley of bones. It fills the valley up and carries them home to come alive again in the river of grace, like the Queen of Iowa. It's like a river in a valley of bones. It fills the valley up and it carries the Queen of Iowa. Long live the Queen of Iowa.